Good evening, everyone. I have the distinguished task of making the farewell remarks or closing remarks. Maybe closing remarks. Farewell seems like it's only for Rupert. You've got the bill and now you probably just get the remarks. But I'll start off perhaps by giving a word of thanks to especially our guest speakers and all the panelists and all the facilitators who have been able to get us through to our evening tonight. I think for me, we can say celebrating 5 years of Belize and looking forward to the next 5 years. So let me say this from the outset that I'm very pleased to be here in this anniversary reflection, may I say, about Belize and its work, its wonderful work. And all of you have been working in the leadership space, in the private sector, being members of the Belize Inc. and partnership, and those who have been working at the background, making sure Belize survives and not just survive, but sustain itself and works towards achieving the noble goals that were the basis for setting Belize together 5 years ago. I'm privileged to be here and I'm happy to be here because 5 years ago in 2018, I think 6th or 5th of September, we launched the initiative at the Australian High Commission, Doctor. I recall that, and I'm trying to remember now. I'm not sure I can recognize anybody who's here in that launch, but Bruce Harris, I think, was the High Commissioner then. We also had the gender ambassador from Australia. I can't remember her name. And we had, what's her name, from Devon Oil Search Foundation. She's now the Stephanie Copus Campbell.
Yep.
Yes. So 5 years on, Dr. Ladders, when she came on, she remarked that maybe it sounds or look, like a Zumba event, that everybody probably not feeling excited or something. So maybe I'll try to change the narrative a bit. I want to commend everybody for the wonderful work of Belize to address this very challenging work or task that face all of us in our country, but in particular women and girls in our city and in our country. Just the initiative of setting together Belize is something we should commend ourselves, and you all in the business sector, corporate sector, should commend yourself and congratulate yourself for taking that initiative. Because as we all know, these major social issues or developmental issues, challenges are mainly the prerogative or domain of the public sector. Government is supposed to take these challenges on, but here we are in our city or in our country, the private sector has come on to put together this partnership called Belize, making, I think initially, the plan was almost be peaceful. The parallel English word for Belize, making us to have peaceful space, peaceful homes, peaceful workplace, peaceful public space, and of course, peaceful city. So a very noble goal, noble ideas that inspire everyone to, put the Belize together. And that itself, I would say, and I want to impress on everyone that it's a great achievement, because I'm not sure about other countries in the world, but in Papua New Guinea, I don't see this model or this, structure existing in other parts of our country. Likewise, in the public space, in the government space especially, we don't have this type of initiative where there is a partnership between governments coming together to have a discussion about these very critical human rights and development issues. So we should commend all the corporate sector, 20 plus organizations that came together, and partners like NCDC in the public sector, the police are here as well. I should commend everyone for taking this initiative and working to take on this major challenge. And may I say that this is a, initiative is an example in itself to everyone. And you all should be commended, because, as I said, it's an exceptional initiative that we have started, and you all have started in Port Moresby, in our capital city, and we have come this far 5 years on. Just having this event this evening and having this conversation, and all the presentation tonight, I think in itself, I would say, shows the success and the great work that has been done in the last 5 years. And so we all should also commend ourselves, and you all in particular. I want to, in my capacity as the governor of our capital city, also chairman of the Permanent Parliamentary Committee on Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment, I want to thank you all for your wonderful work and commend you all. Because look at the length and breadth of our country. This conversation, which is a very important conversation, which must be held and discussed at all levels, at the highest political level, in the leadership of the bureaucratic level, at the district and community level. It's really a discussion that is taking place. And the fact that we are holding it here with you all, members of Belize, illustrate progress, I would say, and advancement. And that is what we should, and you all should take, courage and, be inspired and be motivated to keep on doing the work that we have started and wanted to do, and plan for the next 5 years. All of us, me included, wish that we could solve things very quickly. Me in my capacity as governor, I wish that I could solve, family sexual violence and GBV and all forms of violence in our capital city, make it a great, livable city, an amazing city as we have been branded. It's my wish and passion that I want to do this. But we all know that some issues and some challenges takes time, and that gains can be only achieved in an incremental way. Ending gender-based violence, ending family sexual violence, achieving gender equality and women's empowerment, we all know that it's not an easy task or easy goal to achieve in our country. There are so many impediments. culture being part of the impediments. Behavior and attitude of a lot of our people, men in particular, is a big impediment. And the story of PNG up to now is still a men's story. They still dominate in all sectors. And trying to get them to change is no easy feat. So we should not, be too harsh on ourselves 5 years on that we think that we have not done a lot. The statistics, you all know the statistics in terms of how many clients your various years attended to over the years, how many, assistance that has been offered, and the different type of support that has been offered in workplace, in the safe house, in the referral pathway. You all know the statistics, and whatever the statistics is, I want to say tonight that it's still a progress. It's still a great progress. Because imagine if we don't have balance. The alternative I would submit to us that would be worse than without balance. Because the other partner that could do a lot more is the public sector. But the public sector does not have the type of network and partnership and putting time, effort, and resources into this space, into this agenda, as the private sector. So we all should have some comfort and be assured that we are making progress and we are making advancement. The existence of LEC itself is a manifestation of that progress. Of course, it's up to all of us to keep on being persevering and keep on pushing the agenda and keep on, importantly, provide the leadership. So all the discussion tonight from the panelists, great discussion, talking about diversity and inclusion and safe space. We all consider it's no easy feat in terms of the dynamics and the different complexion of the taking on family social violence, gender-based violence, working towards gender equality and women's empowerment. So many complexion. But the important thing I want to remind us tonight is it's about leadership. And you all in the private sector has taken leadership. And I want to commend you all for your leadership. Not only taken leadership, but you have put time, effort, and resources towards an agenda that you all can see and share with us that it's a very important, critical agenda. Critical to your workplace and the corporate goals, and critical to families and the community that you all work in, and of course, importantly, critical to women and girls in your corporate sector, but in our city together and our country. So, for the next 5 years, I want to call on all of us and remind us that against everything else, resources, time and energy, it's the leadership that is needed. Leadership that recognizes and see the need for us to take on this challenge and be persistent and be resilient despite all the challenges, to take on a hard agenda, very complex issue, and continue to address it in the next 5 years. That's the only way I see we are going to make real progress towards the ultimate goal, which is gender equality, women's empowerment. There's a respect between men and women, and we can move towards a better city and better society that is here for everyone, irrespective of gender, irrespective of other factors like religion or tribal or where people come from. I think John, one of our panelists tonight, emphasized that it's about respect. Sorry, not John, Simon. Thank you, Simon. So let me conclude my final remarks today, tonight, by firstly thanking the Australian government and Australian people for their very critical support that comes to not only setting up policy and partnering the private sector, but getting us this far and John being committed for the next 5 years. Your support to Belize and to this agenda is vital and very critical in Belize. And of course, we are here as chairman of the Permanent Parliamentary Committee, also as governor. We won't make progress without this critical support that you all in your work and in the development plans that you have as a neighbor offers to us. Equally, I want to take this time to thank EU too, Ambassador Friday. EU has given us a great support in the last 5 years as well through Spotlight. Very critical support that has helped us to progress to where we are now, to have some clarity and to think about the way forward. So I want to take this time to also thank EU for being critical partners supporting us in our work up to now. We have the UN also here as well. I want to acknowledge it. But tonight too, I will also yeah, all of us, give a special thank you to Rupert Bray, who has been chairman of the Belize for how many years, Rupert? 1 year?
1 year as chair.
1 year. So this is a special thank you because as you all know, Rupert not only stepping down as chair of Belize, but he will be leaving our shores after maybe 5 years, 6 years. So let me, on behalf of all of us, give a big thanks and let's give him a round of applause for his work. For Belize and in particular, but for this occasion, but I might not see him again, or if I see him again, I might not have this opportunity to have all the entire audience under my spell. Thank him. So I'd like to thank, on behalf of our city too, Rupert, for all the time and effort and all the things that we have achieved in our capital city and in our country during your tenure as the CEO of a steamship and all its subsidiaries, plenty to much. When I first met Rupert, I think our passion or discussion was about rugby union. And we put some time and effort into it, and we went to watch the Sevens Rugby Union in Hong Kong. And as a result of the trip and our discussion then, I ended up as the patron of the PNG Rugby Union. So, Rupert, I mean, thanking you for your wonderful work and time here. I'm not sure I'm going to thank you for getting me to become the chairman of the patron of the PNG Rugby Union for obvious reasons. So I won't really do that. But in your time here, Rupert, you've been a great leader of the corporate, big giant corporate called Steamship. But not only that, you take time to come and walk with us on the street when in November, we take a walk together in partnership on 20 days of activism to end violence against women. That's something that I know everybody will remember long after you're gone. All the pictures are there. They're still in everybody's Facebook account or Twitter account or whatever account. So the memories will still continue. So thank you for a great time here in Papua New Guinea, in particular for tonight, all the 1 year you spent, providing the leadership in Belize. And let me extend that to all the board members who are probably, some might be stepping down, right? But those who are continuing, I want to thank you for your time and thank you too for agreeing to continue. And the new chair, who is a woman, that's progress and development. I want to, on behalf of everybody, to welcome her. We will know her identity later. So I don't even know who this person is too. So I'm just going along with the script that Rupert has set for me on the outside. But otherwise, we have come 5 years. And considering everything else, I want to commend everyone that we are making progress and encourage everyone that we must continue to do this very vital human rights and development work. One of the achievements, of course, is having our committee established in Parliament. Initially as the Special Parliamentary Committee, and now as the Permanent Parliamentary Committee, shifting from addressing GVB to addressing logically, and we all should welcome, gender equality and women's empowerment, because ultimately, unless we achieve gender equality, women's empowerment, race respect, we will still continue to have a high rate of family sexual violence and gender-based violence. That achievement in Parliament would not have ever been had people like Belize and all the other, champions who've been working behind the scene, especially initially with the Family Sexual Violence Action Committee, being in existence, doing wonderful work and bringing us this far. The committee itself is a vindication of the work that you all are doing. And I want to thank you all for the commendation accorded to me. But I want to say this, that I am privileged, absolutely privileged to be where I am in Parliament. And for me, I don't want to let this privilege just pass. That I must harness this privilege and the opportunity to make a difference. And this is what I want to leave with all of us. You all in the corporate sector, especially the leadership, CEO or managing directors or general managers, it's a privilege, great privilege to be where you are. Well, you all worked hard to get there, but to be there is a great privilege and also great opportunity. Let's not allow this privilege and opportunity to just pass. Let's all harness this privilege and opportunity to make a difference. And that's, for me, is what also continues to inspire me. As long as I'm there as a member of Parliament, I will continue to push the agenda, because I recognize that it is vital and critical, not just to women and girls of our country, but importantly to the men. If they could shift and change, they will be great leaders, great men, real men, who will be champions all around. Thank you very much, everyone. And I hope you have a
Thank you, Governor. Within the private sector, we talk about leadership culture is important. If we have leaders within organizations that have the drive to drive this conversation,